But here we are announcing the Blues Clues, a hidden identity or hidden cup style tournament that's going to be hosted by Blue Player 10 and myself, and it will be starting next weekend. We've got 8 invited players. Their identities are going to be kept a secret, and they're going to be given new identities for the tournament. And let's have a look at what we've got. So, Blues Clues identities will be buildings. Each player is going to play with a building, which is really, really fun. So Blue has put a lot of effort into this, and he's come up with Fence, Dome of the Rock, Hut B, Yurt L, The Accursed Tower, Villian A, Gol Gumbaz, and the favorite for me is the Rice Farm. So each player will be assigned a building that will be their player name and player icon. And they will also be assigned a certain color for the tournament. So you can see here that each building has a different color font for its name, and that's the color for the building for the tournament. So that'll make it easier on a casting perspective, because I know yellow will always be Gold Gumbaz, gray will always be Dome of the Rock, and the favorite, the Rice Farm, will always be orange. So to make sure that we can manage the hidden aspect of this, because I don't want to know, and we really don't want the players to know, Blue player is taking a really, really big role in managing the assisting in the scheduling, managing the what's the right word? The identities to the players, so only he knows, but the way he's done it, even he's forgotten. So it's pretty impressive, and it looks really exciting. So we've got the 8 cool buildings that are going to be battling it out. Who's your favorite there, Mango? I'm definitely on the Rice Farm. Rice Farm for the win. But yeah, so that's how the tournament starts, and then in Fence. Oh, Mango's on the Fence train. Blue players also on the Fence train. But I'll introduce you to the players. So we invited 8 players in, all in the Australian East Coast time zone, just to try and make it a little bit easier in terms of keeping identities secret. And all players that we as 2 admins know well enough to be able to hopefully have a crack at identifying them. So introducing you to the players. So we've got Matthew, bit of a king in the little Discord we've got. He's been grinding pretty hard and just hit 1300 ELO. Doesn't know what a market is, so we'll be keeping an eye out for players that get to Castle Age and drop a market to try and balance. His macro is insane. Well known that Matthew and me are on an unbeaten streak forever in 2v2 Arabia. So we don't actually know if he can go the distance without playing with me. And he is a Queenslander, so that does work against him. Sugar, welcome in. Perfect timing, because the next player we're going to announce is Sugar. That's the Sugar, another 1300 ELO beast. Definitely an archer flank player. Strong civs, Vietnamese, Berbers, and Byzantines. But he's just like the biggest sweetheart in the world. Absolutely great with his openings. We've seen him trashing on some wrecks. He's absolutely demolished me with an men at arm opening, and he's a beast archer player. So Sugar is going to be one to watch out for. I don't actually know what Sugar's weaknesses are. I think it's that he's too sweet, but he is a bit of an enigma in that way. So we'll find out more about Sugar as he goes. The next one we've got is the Disappointed Invader, TDI. He just reached 1400 for the first time this week. What a beast. One of the most chaotic but like fun players in the Discord. Very much a Burmese all-in monk or Vietnamese lame or Mayan lame player. So we've got to watch out for what TDI is going to bring into the the fray because he could do absolutely anything. But as we know, he's learned how to play scouts. He's learned how to play meta. He's not just the laming all-in push because he is being coached by 2K3 superstar Razor. Things we do need to watch out for TDI is he does get in his own head, so he is his own biggest weakness. And he does like having good DJs on his channel, so he won't have me there to play Dale Braithwaite horses to egg him on for victories when he gets 105. Next up, we've got Metronomical, who's returned from the abyss of the Olympics, where he couldn't grind because he was too busy watching all the Olympics and having a spreadsheet for where medals were going to be won. But he's back on the grind. He's back in the 1300s. He's an absolute beast of just controlling the game, grinding opponents down, and just maximizing his map control. So definitely someone to look out for in terms of that, holding key positions, having army in good spots, and absorbing pressure. But also will fall apart as soon as anyone does FC Golems. So let's watch out for that. West DJ stream when? Oh, probably never, Mango. You know me. Next up, we've got Nessie, the Beast AoE Division J winner. Coming in with somebody who's very, very good with the Japanese and has been favoriting the Hindustanis a lot on his grind upwards. So good at absorbing pressure and then just executing under pressure. And he's also someone who plays well above his abilities in tournaments. He's a sneaky 1400 in tournament games, not a 1250. So don't let that fool you. Nessie's biggest weakness is opponents who read the handbook and understand that you can't do any laming. And he also lives in Queensland, which is a bit unfortunate. Next up, we've got the Iceman, the other 1400 ELO player in this bracket. When I was going through everyone's AoE insights, Iceman only plays Celts and Berbers. So he is very, very strong with those two civs. But with the map drafting, it will be interesting to see how he goes with civs outside of those two. But he's an absolute beast of a Cav player. He's the 1400 Hera, in his own words, for his APM. And he, controls map and plays really aggressive type builds. So Iceman's definitely going to be putting some pressure on people. The only thing is he's going to continue to draft Celts. So we think that that's going to be quite problematic in the long run for him. And towards the end now, we have Sarathon, another 1250 ELO who's not really a 1250 ELO because he just doesn't play on the ladder. So assigning an ELO to him was a bit tough, but I think he's definitely someone who can play upwards of that level. Definitely someone who, Mango, I agree, a bit of a dark horse. Someone who loves playing death balls, playing with power civs. Give him 5 TCs in an hour and watch out. His late game map control, late game unit control is really, really good and plays well with these types of civs, the Bohemians, the Portuguese, the Persians, those boomers. This is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek crack at him, but his weaknesses is anything before post-imp and I guess lack of walls. And he needs a sacrificial flank, which is always my role playing with him. I die and then watch him 2v1. It's pretty good. And then the last player is the newest member kind of into the fray, Quiet Professional. So another 1250 ELO player. For me, not a lot I know about Quiet Pro. I haven't seen a lot of him, but I know that he and Nessie had an amazing T90 Community Cup final that went really, really late. And I think it was a 3-2 victory to Quiet Pro, coming back from 2-1 down. So definitely someone to watch out for. You'll hear me often quip probably, I don't see anything familiar. So this is definitely Quiet Pro. Definitely Quiet Pro. So that's that's the 8 players that we've got competing in this tournament. The tournament layout's going to be single elimination, starting with best of 3s in the first round. Then we'll go to semi-finals with best of 5s and a final, which is a best of 5. But there's going to be increasing civ bands as we go. So the next most important thing is, let's have a look at the maps that we're going to be playing. Too much rest. Great map. Love it. Yeah. All right. We'll do it another way. I thought I could just do it in the editor and keep changing to them, but I'm not smart enough. So, I'm just going to keep launching into games and we'll look at it. So the first map is Bog Island, which is a bit of a hybrid, but more full water play map. So you get your starting TC, you get your gold, you get 3 boars on your island, and then you're forced to play water. You're forced to move into dangerous wood lines that can be demoed. How you going, Iceman? There's lots of buffalo that you can pick up around the place, and yeah, it's a fun little map, this one. So the players will have a hard time on it. It's not the easiest map to play, but I think it's going to be a real fun map to cast. Hopefully we'll get lots of demo action, lots of galley micro, and you know, see some games get played quite aggressively because there's not a lot of gold on this map. So that is map. I'm just going to turn my just a little bit loud for me. Okay, so we've got Bog Islands. Then the second map is Fractal, which has been made famous by RMS Cup, made for RMS Cup, but also played a lot in T90's Titans League. And it's quite a fun little map. So big things is single boar, and it tends to always forward spawn. And you have forward gold and forward stone. Also a back stone or back gold normally. 4 deer spawn around, and then 1 deer spawns out the back. But what's really interesting is this kind of 2-3 tiles of 50 wood to chop through to get to the water. The maps are excellent. Right? And then you've also got the wood going out this way where you can chop into extra resources, and you've got a big gold pile here. So this map has so many different ways to play out. It's got water, it's got land, it's got aggression, there's early lames. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. So really looking forward to seeing what the guys do on Fractal. So we've seen Bog Islands, we've seen Fractal. The next map is from Hidden Cup. It's a bit of homage to the Blues Clues ripping off Hidden Cup, and we've got Hidden Forts, which is a bit of a more late game boomy map. It is pretty easy to drop some walls down, and then the whole idea again is to cut through these wood lines and then get into the middle where there's so much gold, there's extra boars, and you can start to snowball a push onto your opponent. You can go for feudal pressure by looping the long way around, and that can be quite damaging as well. So there are different ways to play this map. And we saw a lot of it in the AoE Leagues division that we casted. So it's a good fun map, and we should hopefully see the players have a lot of fun on this one. And everyone as well should drop in and give Blue Player 10 a follow, because he's done awesome with his prep work to get this tournament up and running. Click on his icon in the stream or on his name. So the fourth map that we've got is another base game standard map, but Land Madness. Really fun, really aggressive map. Really hard to wall. You only get 1 boar. You get your berry bush under your TC, but you do get quite a few deer patches, and you get 5 5 berry bushes there. The terrain around the lumber camps can't be walled in. So this is going to be a bit of an open land map, open aggressive map. And it'll be interesting to see how the players play it. The single bore is interesting because it will probably slow down some of these faster up times. But obviously you got pretty good access to deer if you can push them all in. So will be interesting to see how the players. This is Land Madness. Yes, this is just Land Madness. You know it well, Mango. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the players go for it. I think the AI has generated really good civs here, Lith and Biz. So could be a bit of fun. Just not quite enough food to do a sneaky fast castle. And the next map is, this is the Pokeball map, otherwise known as Monocle. So this map's going to be quite a lot of fun, and it's going to be completely random generated. So what we can see easily here is I'm going to try and send the scout to my opponent's base, right? And these woodlines are all completely closed off, but sometimes that one tile won't exist and you can get in and go for the early lane. So it can be either super closed or super aggressive. Then there's all this fish along the reed. Rest in peace, the old Indian Civ, who would just gobble this all up. As well as some deer patches on the outside as well. And you need to expand to take the extra res, the gold, the stone. There is only 4 tiles of gold here, so it can be a bit boomy. But it can also be a little bit just don't kill my scout. It can be a little bit not as boomy as well, because the tight resources mean you need to push hard. So this is going to be a really fun map to see how the players adapt and react and what type of civs they favor. But definitely, like, a lot of feudal scouts are definitely possible here. So really looking forward to seeing what happens there. Only 4 berry bushes, you got the 2 boars, and only the 4 goats. Or what are they called? Geese, turkeys, whatever they are. So this will be real fun, the Pokeball map. Looking forward to that one. Then the next map we've got is another Hidden Cup map. Matt, thanks for the follow. We've got Mudflow, which is a all-in aggressive, can't farm around the TC, take fish under your TC, hopefully lots of demos in the middle. This is going to be a real fun map. Players have played a little bit of this with all the tournaments that have been going on. How you going, Matt? Thanks for the follow. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, it's going to be Ace. Hey, you followed me last night. I saw that. Thanks for that. Thanks for coming in, my friend. Yeah, this is a map that plays out aggressively, can go late, but most importantly, demos. I want to see lots and lots of demos. All the players playing, even though I won't know who you are, make sure you do demos for me. Gold around the outside. It is quite interesting, the spawn. This one's quite close. You can spawn quite far away. Yeah, it's a fun little map, this one. They're all fun maps. That's the key. That is the key. So, from Mudflow, we're next looking at Quarry, another map from Hidden Cup, and a real interesting map. So you've got lots of deer, cracked terrain, and gold in the middle. You've got this one tile of trees, which is only 50 wood as well, protecting you, so you can easily wall that up. You've got a fair bit of gold and lots of, obviously, wood's never going to be an issue. But 2 boars, standard sheep, standard berries. It can be a bit of a lame fest. It can be a bit more of a boomy map. It can be a bit more of a feudal aggression map. There's lots of different ways to play this. Getting sneak vills is something that can happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what the players do with this one. I think there's a lot of potential to be quite aggressive, but there's also a lot of potential to try and drag it out into the late game where a lot of the players are just so strong. So this is going to be a lot of fun map. Hopefully we see lots of laming. This is a good laming map. Love to see it. And just 2 more maps. We've only got the 9 maps, I believe. So slopes, which is another land aggressive map that I really enjoyed from Hidden Cup. So you do have the 2 boars. It's all pretty standard, except you have these slopes that you can climb up to. You have deer and fish on each little bit of the slope. And you also have extra resources there. So it plays out a little bit like Frontline, with the way this kind of, corridor, I suppose, works out. But it is pretty easy to wall up and protect yourself. So you can play the wall and boom. You can play all in scouts. You will need to kind of break out into the kind of sides to take further resources. But it's a really fun looking map. Ace, I think it's a good map. It's a winner. So yeah, this is going to be a nice, fun, aggressive land map, and scout dominant map. I think see a lot of scouts, but you never know. You don't know what people are cooking. And then getting towards the end of the maps. So this is the last map that we've got, Le Grand Fosse from RMS2, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So it's kind of like Hideout. Your boars are on the outside, which is going to be really interesting for luring, and there are plenty of boars around. And then you've got the ability to dock, take some shore fish, maybe send some villagers over. And then you've got the Gaia protected resources, which are also quite crazy. So there's gold and relics, but you have to fight off the Gaia units. I'm pretty sure you can. Oh, you can't even dock. Oh, so what? Okay, you can't even dock. Good point, noob. Chest, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so you can't even dock and... damn. There goes my strategy of douching by sending my villagers across on a transport ship. Well, that's a problem. Thanks, dude. Well, I'm not even playing, so I'm just casting it. But good to know, because I'm going to be calling everyone out for not docking. So now I know that they can't dock. You can't capture the Gaia units, no. If you try and capture the Gaia units, this is what happens. Nah, noob, you're always here. You've always got my back. It's good fun. The Gaia units are uncapturable. So if you got the Gaia units and the resources, that would be pretty pog. So it's a little bit like there's not a lot of gold around the map. So in the late game, you've either got to commit to killing Gaia army to take the gold and the relics, or you commit to a bit of stone, or you commit to just trying to kill your opponent before then. That is a great question, noob. I assume you can convert them. But let's try. You know all the cheat codes, don't you? Let's just I'll just fucking make it post in. Resources. Good monk sieve.
Okay. Solo you tama. Solo you tama. Okay. Solo you tama. Maybe. Solo you tama.
အသင့်ပဲဟုတ်ကဲ့စောင်းလို့ရည်တမ
What's Aegis do? Is that the instant? Yeah.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ချင်းပါပဲ
Solo you tama.
စောင်းလို့ရည်တမ
ဘုရားလှုပ်လိုက်ပါဟုတ်ကဲ့အမင်းတော်လှုပ်လိုက်ပါဟုတ်ကဲ့
Oh,
ပချက်ချင်းပါလှုပ်လိုက်
I don't think you can convert them.
ဘုရားချက်ချင်းပါတန်ခါဟုတ်ကဲ့လှုပ်ချက်ချင်းပါပဲ
That's funny. They were spearmen before, and now they're halberdiers. They've aged up.
ချက်ချင်းလှုပ်လိုက်မယ်အမင်းတော်
No, you have to kill them. You can't convert
ဟုတ်
them.
ကဲ့လှုပ်လိုက်ဟုတ်ချက်ချင်းပါပဲဟုတ်ကဲ့ချင်းဟုတ်ကဲ့ချက်
Yeah.
ချင်းဟုတ်ကဲ့
So they're unconvertible.
ယောပါဟုတ်ကဲ့ဟုတ်ပါအမင်းတော်လှုပ်လိုက်ယောပါဟုတ်ကဲ့ဘုရားလှုပ်လိုက်တန်ခါ
There you go. That's fun to know. Because that's a strategy players could probably look at. Their faith is too strong. They're committed to the Gaia cause. So now all we got to do is